2016, coming to you from another snowy day in Minnesota. Today I woke up and we hadn't gotten a ton of snow, but it had blown a ton. So we have lots of drifting outside, and I will be sure to show you some of that when I head out to help my husband plow the driveway. And we seem to have a very needy cat this morning, Mr. Cole, my big guy. We believe is part Maine Coon, and he was adopted from a rescue he'll be 7 in March, so like 6.5 years ago. But sometimes he thinks that he doesn't get enough love, but I don't think that's really the case. So let's open some Advents. We'll see if Cole will help us here. Are you going to help me, buddy? All right, let's do Berry Fun Yarns first. This one is probably one of my favorites of the whole kit, and it is called Hawaiian Sunset, and it is blue with these like purple and pink kind of splotches. I'm going to show you the one that I wound up because you can really see the color difference in the one that I have out for crocheting. See, isn't that beautiful? I'm a little partial, but I love this color. This colorway will definitely be coming to the shop in the new year. The recipe I have written down, I can definitely repeat it. So the bummer thing is that it does require me to do an indoor dye and then also an outdoor indigo dye. So it probably won't be ready until the spring because, as I just said, it's snowing here in Minnesota, so I can't really do my indigo vat outside just yet. So I just don't have a place inside that I can do that without making a huge mess. So that is Hawaiian Sunset. And the message for today is, the deepest, darkest, and longest Minnesota winter books have always brought me joy. Be they a book about a warmer place, a great adventure, or a historical fiction that understands what it is like to live through winter, they are all equally enjoyable. What sort of books do you enjoy reading? Do you read the same series every year at the same time? Today I encourage you to open a new title or get lost in an old favorite, and don't forget that cozy blanket and hot cup of tea to go with. Two of my favorite winter reads are The Long Winter by Laura Ingalls Wilder and The Beach Street Knitting Society by Jill McNeil. So, The Long Winter by Laura Ingalls Wilder, Little House on the Prairie series, no-brainer. It always makes me feel better because their long winter was much worse than any long winter we'd have today. And the Beach Street Knitting Society series I really enjoy because I just like the voice of the characters. It's set in Britain, and I don't know, the characters just really, I really enjoy that one. So I tend to read those both in the winter. All right, now where did I put the Lavender Loon? Oh, before I go on to Lavender Loon, I was going to mention there is a, as the colors get darker, if you have one of these sets or you have purchased some of my indigo dyed yarn or indigo dyed yarn from another maker, one thing to note is that sometimes people get really nervous because as they're knitting or crocheting, they see some of the color, the blue color, maybe coming off on their finger. I don't know if you can even see it. I have a little tiny here. Obviously, I've washed my hands since yesterday. But when I was crocheting last night with this, you can sort of see, you get a little bit of the color that rubs off. That does not mean that the dye is not set, and it does not mean that the dyer did something wrong. When it comes to indigo, that is called crocking, and it is part of the process of how indigo adheres to the fiber. So even though it may come off on your finger, it may come off on your wooden needles. That is one thing to know if you knit with wooden needles. Sometimes it does color your needles slightly. It does not, like if you're doing color work or you're worried about it bleeding, it usually does not do that. Not any more than any other color would. Sometimes there's a residual tiny little bit of dye in the water when you wash it the first time, but I have found that acid dyes actually bleed way more when you wash them, if they're like a dark blue or a dark red or dark purple, than my indigo dyes do. But don't worry if that happens to you. That is just part of the process. And I do have a handout on that, and I'll see if I can link that below in my description box if you're interested in learning more about that. Okay, so on to Lavender Loom, day 16. We're getting a little bit lighter. So pretty. We got some dark blues today. A little bit of green in there, some yellow. We kind of go together lately. Yeah, so pretty. All right. I think that's it for what I wanted to share with you this morning. I have actually don't have regular school day anymore today. We decided today would be the last, or yesterday would be the last day of our regular school days before Christmas break. Next week we are doing something we call Christmas Around the World, where we pick a country each day and we learn about the cultural celebration part of Christmas, and then we try to make a food from that country, and we just do some kind of artsy crafts things. So it's sort of a fun week. Today, actually, my youngest son, it is his birthday. So we take the day off when it's your birthday, and we let the kids play and do their own stuff together. So I, though, am getting ready for my husband's parents are going to be coming into town this afternoon to help celebrate, and and so I have to do some cleaning, and all of my Christmas presents are in the guest room, so I need to wrap those and put those somewhere else. Need to make room for them and get ready. So I will be busy doing those sorts of things. I'll be outside a bit, and I will be sure to take you with me. All right, have a good Friday. Bye, everybody. The snow, we didn't get that many more inches, but it drifted a ton in our front yard, in front of our garage. So my husband is plowing, I shoveled, and then the tree trimmers decided to come today, which I didn't think this would be the day they'd come, but we have a few ash trees that have been affected by the ash borers, and so it appears they're taking one of them down right now. So I'm done outside. I'm gonna head inside to warm up and do some inside work. See you later.
about to go down the big hill.
Yep.
Here we go.
Go!